This video is part of a series and the link to the playlist is given in the description. If this is the first video that you are watching, then I request you to please watch the previous parts to get the full understanding. There is a very important thing that I want to discuss through this video, and that is having a good bond with your session instrumentalist. For this kind of music, you will need a team of session instrumentalists, and having a good bond with them, hanging out with them, knowing what their music taste is, it's very, very important. When I was designing the chorus of this song, a melody came to me and I thought I would design that in a mandolin. It sounded like dang 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 dang. By the way, I always have this mic and which is always turned on my desk so that I can record any ideas that come to me instantly in my software. Recently I have watched Adipurush and there was a scene in that where Ravan was playing the veena to worship Lord Shiva. And I thought that I would layer this melody with veena. But then I felt that veena would be too dark, too low for this kind of song, because this song is very happy, it's very bright, and veena would be very dark and it will have a lot of gravity and it won't gel with that song very nicely. The next thing I had in my mind that I would record a sitar for this. I called Sauravv and sent him the voice recording and he sent me this. So this is the voice recording that I sent to Sauravv. I'll play it for you. And after listening to my voice note, this is what he sent me back. So as you can see, the thing that I've sent him was very simple, and in the last part of it, the second half of it, he has added his own creativity. Like the tung 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 dung dung dung. This is his part of it. It is his creativity. Earlier I mentioned that having a good bond with a session instrumentalist is very important. Now imagine if I was working with someone whom I don't know, then I would be very embarrassed to send him that voice recording, right? But working with Sauravv is very different. I have worked with him from the last 2 years and he exactly knows what I want, and I also know what kind of music he listens to and what is his taste, what is his interpretation to my ideas, and I know exactly what to tell him to get the thing that I want from him. A very interesting thing here is that I could have played that part in the piano and I could have sent it to him, but I chose my voice because sitar is an Indian instrument and Indian instrument has a thing called mead, that is bending of notes, that is like da 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 na. You can't play this on a keyboard. Even if you try to fiddle with the pitch bending, you can't recreate this thing. That's why I thought that my voice would be the best for that, because he would understand exactly what kind of dynamics I want, what kind of playing I want from him. Let's come to a very important part in this song, that is the recording of guitars. We did record an electric as well as an acoustic guitar. Let's talk about the electric guitars first. I used my Square Telecaster for it, and it's a cheaper version of the Mexican Fender Telecaster. For the tone design, I used Neural DSP Archetype Cody Wong, and it's a beautiful plugin, and I will show you how I did it. As you can see, these are the electric guitars. Let me play them for you. Let me show you how I designed the tone. I have used an archetype Cody Wong for it. So these two are turned off, these two pedals are turned off. I have used a compression, and this is pre-compression. So before the signal hits the amp, it is compressing, and it's also giving a tube saturation. So the gain is increased before it hits the amp. I have used a combination of this amp and this cabinet. I don't know what they are called, but yes, it sounds really nice. Now, coming to this like post pedal, I have used this reverb. Okay, I could have used an external reverb too, but I love the sound of this reverb. Let me show you without the reverb. See how it has a certain kind of faded, a washed out kind of tone. That's why it's called the wash, maybe. And also I've used an external reverb on this. This is a basic Valhalla vintage verb. But it sounds good. The combination of both the reverb, it sounds a bit of dreamy. Like it sounds very laid back and it's like gluing with the other elements very nicely. While designing the electric guitars, I had this in my mind that the electric guitars won't be predominant. It would lie in the back of the arrangement and it will beautifully gel to the layers on top of it, like the piano, the guitars, the strings. And by guitars, I mean the acoustic guitars. The audience won't feel that, oh, that's an electric guitar that's being played, but it will hit their subconscious mind and they would feel like, oh, that's something, a kind of sound that I haven't heard before. Let's come to a very interesting part, which is the design of acoustic guitars. By the way, there are two methods that we used to record the acoustic guitar. Let's talk about the first one, that is mid-side recording. I recorded the plucked part of the acoustic guitar with mid-side recording. Now, mid-side recording is a really interesting topic in itself, but I will try to simplify it for you. You will need to have two condenser mics for it, and one of them should have the ability to change the polar patterns. Now let's imagine this is a mic, and this is the front face of it, and this is set in cardioid mode. That means it is recording the source from its front. From the sides, it's rejecting the sounds. So this mic is having a cardioid polar pattern. And there is another mic. This is also the front face. This is the back. And this mic is set in figure of 8 mode. That means it is recording from the front as well as it's recording from the back. Now, from the sides, it's rejecting the sounds, right? So you will have to place the mics like this. So this is the main mic which is having the cardioid, and the figure of 8, you will place it like this. Remember, not like this, like this. So you are recording from the front, from the cardioid, and from the top, this mic, it is recording in terms of figure of 8. That means it's recording the sides. It's recording the middle part. It's recording the sides. That's why it's known as mid-side recording. Mid-side recording is a really beautiful technique because it is a mid-centric recording technique. That means it won't have that much of a stereo depth. It will feel like the guitars are in front of your face. And there is also a beautiful thing in that you can control the stereo width. I'll show you how to do that. This is the plugged guitar and it is recorded in mid-side. And as you can see, this is the strum guitar and these are double tracked. So there are 2 files and these are 3. One is the mid and like the 2 tracks below, these are the sides. So let me play to you the mid-side thing. As you can feel, there is a nice stereo image, although it's not super wide, but it has a very nice on the face kind of a stereo feel to it. So if I just play you the mid part of it, like if it was a mono recording, it would have sounded like this. Now if we add the sides to it, it sounds like mono, and now stereo. And there is also a very interesting thing. We can control the width of this recording by lowering the side volume or making it a bit louder. So let me show you. If I like reduce the fader like this, it becomes a mono recording. And as I will dial in the loudness, it will feel like wider. Now this is sounding like super wide. I don't want that. So I just turned it up into something like this. Now it's sounding very nice. It's sounding like straight on the face as well as it has a bit of stereo depth to it. Let's come to the strumming, We recorded the strumming using double tracking. So we recorded the strumming using a single microphone, that is a cardioid pattern AKG C414, and we then stacked two of them, panned them left and right. This is known as DT, double tracking. These are the strum guitars and these are DT. Let me play it for you. As you can see, one of them is totally panned towards the left and another of them is panned towards the right. Now this is something very important that you will have to understand is why did I choose two different recording techniques for two different playing styles of the guitar. Now please try to understand. For the plucking, I choose a MS recording technique. That means it is a bit mid-centric. So the plucking of the guitars will be sitting in front of my face. I will have the plucking in front of my face with a very little stereo depth. Meanwhile, the strumming guitars, it's done in DT and it have a lot of stereo width. So you can visualize that the plucking is in front of my face and the strum guitar is covering it up from the sides. So this was the design that I had in mind while designing the acoustic guitars. Now let's hear how both of them sounds together. Before ending this video, there is a very important topic left to discuss, which is time correction. This is the step just next to the recording of the guitars, and this is also very important. Try to understand this. There are two extremes of a recording. This is the perfectly quantized recording, and this is the natural human, like the human error recording. It's imperfect. As a good producer, you will have to understand the sweet spot between the two. Like my recording is not fully quantized and also it's not slaggy. It has a bit of human imperfections which is making it sound beautiful, and also that is like a bit tight. And this things comes with experience, and by making a lot of mistakes and by fixing it, trying to fix the errors, like only making mistakes won't help you gain that knowledge. You will have to try to fix it. About the time correction, I will make a detailed video later, otherwise this video will be an hour-long video. That's it for today from my side. I'm making a series where I'm showing the detailed journey of the song from my mind to the speakers. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you don't know me, hi, I am Deb. I'm a film composer, a music arranger and an audio engineer. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.